was recorded live in San Antonio, Texas for the 2003 CALLERLAB Conference. This is tape number 21, Party Nights, What You Know.
Good morning. This is the session on square dance beginner parties with What You Know. My name is Betsy Gotta, and I will be your moderator for this session. I have been calling for over 40 years, and I call the CALLERLAB administered programs, all of them, and occasionally C3B, which doesn't exist at CALLERLAB. I also call and prompt Contra, and my husband does rounds. I also do beginner parties. I am an accredited CALLERLAB caller coach, and I serve on the Board of Governors. I work with 3 different senior citizen programs, which are introductions to square dancing, and which probably will never, none of those dancers will ever reach the mainstream program. But they're having a lot of fun. The panelists today are Gerry Hardy and Tom Miller. Gerry has been calling for 12 years. She is a musician, and she, up until recently, taught music in grade school. She serves as a chairman of the Education Committee and vice chairman of the Women in Calling Committee. Gerry calls both by herself and with her husband Chuck. Tom Miller is a full-time caller who is known for his singing voice and his showmanship. Tom has been calling for 30 years. He started really young. He calls mainstream through C1. He serves on the Board of Governors. Tom also has a very successful program teaching square dancing in high school. Okay, and I'm the moderator. I'm not really going to talk a whole lot, but I have some introductory remarks. Beginner party, one-night stand, square dance hoedown, whatever you call it, a night calling for people who do not regularly square dance is a chance to promote our activity. We all love this activity, so we want to show it off to the general public. As an experienced club square dance caller, you may feel that you can do a fine job of presenting square dancing to beginners. You may feel that you don't, or you can't do the job for beginners because you can't add contras or line dances or mixers or sit-down dancing or big circle dancing. If you've been to one of those sessions, you might have felt intimidated because I don't do any of that stuff. But I call for beginners and it seems to go okay. I believe that many experienced club callers go too far in trying to teach too many calls in one night because they feel themselves that a limited number of calls is either boring or not really square dancing as we know it. They're trying so hard to promote the activity and see square dancing as we know it that they overteach. Those callers who add contras, mixers, etc., have a way of adding variety without adding more calls. We are here today to help you provide variety with the knowledge and music that you already have, and with a limited number of calls. Attitude. Since CALLERLAB introduced its standardized programs, many people who learn to square dance and call under the guidance of those programs seem to think that people are not, quote, really, unquote, square dancing unless they do a recognized program. You got to graduate and become a mainstream dancer before you're actually being a square dancer. Those are the callers who boast at the end of a beginner party. It was a really great dance. I taught them 15, 20, 25 calls. My usual reaction is, why? I think it is because those callers have forgotten how difficult it is to start dancing. They do not realize that instead of giving people a good square dance experience, they may be confusing the dancers and undermining their fun. Callers who call for beginner parties should be intent upon giving a good dance experience. A dance experience is moving to music and not standing around while the caller teaches yet another new call. Even if the dancers succeed, they might have had more fun if the caller had kept it simple. To do a fun dance with under 10 calls, the caller should have a plan. Study the calls and think what you can do to make it just a little different. I have been working with an introduction to square dance program with a group in a senior center where there are no former square dancers and absolutely no angels. By talking to the dancers between the sets, I have really fine-tuned my understanding that people want to succeed and just a little change can cause confusion. I'll give one small example. I had an odd number of people, so I thought it would be a good time to introduce a contra dance, because I can do some of those things. And one of the guys there said that was really more difficult because he didn't have a home to return to. Because in contra dancing, you're continually moving one place up or down the square. And so he found contra dancing more difficult than the square dancing I had been doing, because there was no safe home to go to. Now, I want to turn the program over to my panel members so they can tell you their ideas of how to call a successful one-night square dance with what you have in your record case or your CD case and in your head. Our first panelist is Gerry Gotta. That was my mother-in-law. Gerry Hardy.
Thanks, Betsy.
I liked my mother-in-law, though.
Okay, everybody, I'm going to treat you just like we were at a party. So everybody stand up. Choose a partner, everybody. Choose a partner, everybody. You don't need pencils or anything. There is a handout for this whole session. Choose a partner and come to the back of the hall, please. Come to the back of the hall. Doesn't matter what sex your partner is. Chuck, could I have some music, please? Music. Choose a partner. Doesn't matter if it's male or female. 2 females is fine. Come on, this is how you learn, by doing. Chuck, we need some music real fast. Yeah, there it is. Make a big circle around me, everybody. Big circle right around me. You don't know anything. Big circle right around me. Big circle. Let everybody in. This is a party. Oops, we need to hitch up this circle here. Hitch it up. Come on, Andrea. Choose Jim Mayo. He loves to dance. Okay, there you go. Okay, hook up there. Hook up, everybody. Good. Now, raise your partner's hands, everybody. Just your partner. Just your partner. Just your partner. I'm checking to see who has partners. Hot Rod, who's your partner? Okay. All right. Now, if you have male and female partner, gentlemen, please make sure your lady's on your right. Make sure your lady's on your right. If you choose two of one sex, 2 men or 2 women, don't worry about it right now, okay? Raise your partner's hand again. Raise your partner's hand. Good. Now, tap your toe, everybody. Just tap your toe to the beat of the music. Good. Tap the other toe. Good. Got a nice, strong beat on this pop toe down. All join hands. Everybody ready? Circle left. Go. Circle left. Keep going. Come on, make that right to the edges. Right to the edges. No kinks. Want no kinks. Good. Circle right. Come on. Oh, stretch it out. Circle right. Good. Circle to the right. Drop your hands. Go single file. Keep on going. Indian style. Now, I know you know that, but most people do know single file. You turn back, go the other way back. We got 4 calls already. You turn back, go the other way back. Everybody, face your partner. Look her in the eye. Clap 2 times. Shake hands with your partner. Right hand shake. Hold tight. Don't let go. Shake hands underneath with the left hand. Hold tight. Now, everybody stand side by side. Ladies on the gentleman's right, facing the same direction. That's a promenade. Walk forward, promenade. Keep going. Keep going, promenade. Very good. Hey, you're going to back right out and circle to the left. Circle to the left. Go right, you go. Now circle to the left. Circle to the right, the other way back, and circle to the right. Drop your hands and go single file. Keep on going. Do a U-turn back, go the other way back. Now face your partner, shake right, shake left, stand side by side, promenade. Now you're fast learners. But they're getting it, don't worry. We've done this lots of times. Now, I would continue on and then responding to the music. Keep going, keep going, keep going. And freeze. And that's what I usually say. I say freeze in the position that you're in, promenade position, and emphasize words. Called words all the time, circle and promenade and everything over and over again. Then I would turn every other couple around to face the couple behind them. So Helen and your husband, would you turn around, face good, and turn around? And usually you have to help them, and Chuck kind of helps. Good. And turn around, good. Turn around. Excellent. Turn around. You got it. Oh, we're even. Huh? Wonderful. You're going to be working with a couple behind you in groups of 4. Join hands, circle to the left. Go. Groups of 4. 6, 7, circle right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and stop. You should be facing the same direction you started, and you should have your backs to a couple behind you. Okay, let's try it again. Join hands, circle to the left. Go. 1, 2, circle to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With your opposite, touch palms right to right with fingers pointing up like a star. Walk around this opposite. Walk right around and back by the left-hand star. All the way around till you get back where you started with your partner. Join hands with your partner. Good. Go forward and back. Right-hand star with opposite. Back by the left-hand star with opposite. Good. Now face that couple. Face your partner. Right-hand star. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back by the left-hand star. Everything's as much cadence as you can to beats of 8. Now stand side by side with your partner. Face the other couple. Good. We're going to learn a magic word called pass through. And with the couple opposite you, you are going to be doing this magic word called pass through. Drop hands with your partner, and you're going to pass through that couple, passing right shoulders. I'm going to use this demo couple right over here, and I'm going to tell the right-hand dancer is going to go straight through there, and the left-hand dancer is going to go to the outside. This works for the other couple, of course, too. The right-hand dancer is going to go through. The left-hand dancer is going to go on the outside. Watch this couple now and make sure you know what you're doing. This group right here, pass through. Everybody see that? Give them a hand. Give them a hand. Woo! All right, you can unpass through. Good. Make sure you have your lady on your right. Very good. Everybody, let's try it. Go. Pass through. You meet a new couple. Circle left. Go. Circle left. Yay! Now circle to the right. Keep that music going, Chuck. Everybody pass through. Circle to the left. Now circle to the right, the other way back. Same direction now. Pass through. Go. Everybody put your right hand into the center of that circle now. We're learning a new call. Actually, it's not new, but it's with 4 people. Right-hand star, walk forward, turn the star. Now remember, you have to be told everything. Now back by the left-hand star. Beautiful. Now, same direction. You're the same footprints. Look down those feet. Same footprints facing the same direction. Excellent. Pass through. Circle to the left. New 2. Circle to the left. You're not getting excited. This is a new couple. Circle to the right. Yeah. Oh, they always get excited. Pass through. Make a right-hand star. Turn it. Now back by the left-hand star. Everybody, same direction. Pass through. New 2. Hey! Circle left. Woo! Yeah. Now circle to the right. The other way back. Circle to the right. Pass through. Opposite right-hand star. You're changed it now, but they've got to be listening to you. Back by the left-hand star. Same direction, everybody. Ready? Pass through. Good. New 2. Got them? Good. Sometimes you have to wait. Opposite right-hand star. Now back by the left-hand star. Good. Same direction. Magic word. Pass through. Circle to the left. Circle left. Now circle to the right. The other way back. With that same couple, make a right-hand star. Go. Right hand. Now back by the left. Beautiful. Everybody pass through. Freeze right there. Good. Now we're going to go to circles of 8, so you just tell them we're going to make circles of 8 people. So we're going to add 4 and 4 to make 8. So you 4 and 4 come together, make a circle of 8. And 4 and 4 make 8. 4 and 4 here make 8. And 4 and 4 here make 8. Right. Now we have an extra right over here, hon. Right here. That's good. Now this happens all the time. Either you get 2 more couples up, or else you just work with a circle of 4. They can do everything the circle of 8's doing. So stretch out your circles a bit. You have enough room. And bow to your partner. New call. On the side of you is your corner. Bow to your corner. Good. Join hands. Everybody circle to the left. Go. Circle left. Circle to the right. The other way back and circle to the right. Drop your hands to go single file. Keep on going. Do you turn back? Go the other way back. your partner. Shake right hand, shake left, promenade. Go, promenade. That's probably the last time that I would do that. And you back right out and all join hands, circle to the left. Go, circle left. All the men, this could be everybody, make a right hand star in the middle. Good. Turn it once around. Now back by the left hand star. Back to where you started and face your partner. Now for most adults, I would teach a do-si-do from here. But with the little kids, if you've got a party where you have adults and adults dancing with little children, I probably would avoid a do-si-do because it really is disorienting for children. I don't use them in the father-daughter nights for little 5- and 6-year-olds. So, face your partner. Let's pretend it's an all-adult party. Face your partner. We're going to do a do-si-do. A lot of people will know it, but I always demo it, and Patty Green and her husband are going to be the demo group and do exactly what I say. But listen to it first. You're going to pass right shoulders. Walk forward, pass right shoulders, slide back to back. Back up, passing left shoulders. But sometimes I say, is there anybody who knows a do-si-do? Oh, good. Okay, then you come out and you're going to demo with me. So, and then we'll have Patty, because they don't know what to do. All right, so here we go. And this is Linda. Hi, Linda Shaw. So Linda knows a do-si-do. So Linda and I are going to do a do-si-do. You ready? Here we go. Do-si-do. Give Linda a hand. Great job. Good. Now Patty and her husband, I'm sorry, I'm going to get your name. Steve. Did you watch? You did. You know what to do? No, you don't need to do that. That's true, but I wouldn't tell them not to do it. Okay, like I just told you. The greens, do-si-do. Pass right shoulders, slide back to back, back up, passing left shoulders, and you end up facing your partner. Everybody got it? Face your partner now. Do-si-do that partner. Look at your corner on the other side of you. Remember that corner? Clap 2 times. Now, do-si-do corner. That clapping gives them time to find their corner. A lot of them don't find it very fast. Face your partner. Clap 2 times. Do-si-do partner. Back to your corner. Make a right-hand star. Turn it. Now back to your partner. Promenade. Promenade. Good. We're not using Alaman left or anything just yet. And you back right out. Join hands. Circle to the left. Go around. Circle to the left. Around this town. And you circle to the right. The other way back and circle to the right. All the girls make a left-hand star in the middle. Left-hand round. Turn it. Now back by the right. Right-hand star, gals. Right-hand star. Oh, you're gal, Bill? Back to your partner. Face your partner. Do-si-do. Back to your corner. Do-si-do. Back to partner. Promenade. Hey, promenade around. You go now. Promenade. Gonna back right out and circle to the left. Now we're just reinforcing all the stuff that we've done. It hasn't been much. Good. Everybody, make a right-hand star in the middle. Make a right-hand star. Turn it. Now back by the left-hand star. Back right out and all join hands. Circle to the left. All to the middle with a cowboy yell. Yeehaw! Face your partner. Bow to partner. And your corner too. Now I've been just working about maybe 10 minutes, and they've already got quite a few calls, and you can just continue that almost through the whole evening. But now we're going to go to just squaring this circle up. Now here's where we may run into problems, although not too many problems with the circle of 4, of course. What do you do? So what I do is I really try to get as many people out from who's sitting down.
Yeah. Who came into this dance late who wants to jump in now?
And if you want to, you can dance with me, because very often I call and dance at the same time for the party night. So, Bob Howell, come on, dance with me, and we'll do this. Now, how do we square this circle up? Join hands in your circle. You've got a circle. We want to make it into a square. So with your partner, I'd like you to take, I'll be right there in a minute.
Another
Bob.
Lady might be good.
One more lady?
One more person. Oh, we got 2. Cool.
Okay.
Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, take both of you, then Gerry won't have to dance.
Well, I kind of like to dance and call at the same time. It's kind of fun. Anyway, what you're going to do is with your partner, As a couple, you are going to have your back to one of the walls of the hall. One of the walls of the hall. So square up your set, holding only your partner's hand. Only your partner's hand. Square up the circle. Okay, you follow directions very well. Now, if you have an L-shaped room or if you have a triangular-shaped room, do the best you can. That's all I can say. Squares to triangles just doesn't match. But you're going to form a square. An analysis to the house would be good too. 4 walls of a house, this sort of thing. Now, just use Pop's hoedown, which is in the handout. This next, and that's out of my box. And the next hoedown is Stepping Out, and it's also available right out of my record box. And all this stuff is right out of my record box with what you know. Go ahead, Chuck, put it on. Hold your partner's hand, everybody. Men, palm up, ladies, palm down, but don't be too fussy about that at parties. Hey, bow to partner, and your corner too. Good, all join hands, circle to the left, go right, circle to the left, go right, you go. Excited. I use that a lot in party nights. All the women into the middle with a cowgirl yell. All the men into the middle with a cowboy yell. Face your partner. Do-si-do, partner. Now corner. Do-si-do. Back to your partner. Promenade. Right round you go. Hey, promenade. All the way around till you get back where you started. Where you started. Good. Now let's identify couple numbers and couple names, because that's important. I probably would do that before you even started calling. If you have your backs to the music, raise your hand. Your backs to the music. You're couple number 1. Couple number 3 is opposite. Raise your hand. Good. 1 and 3 are also called the head couples. 1 and 3 go forward and back. 2 and 4 go forward and back. Yeah. 1 and 3 you go forward and back. 2 and 4 you go forward and back. You are moving so beautifully. You're all dancers and everything, but most of them forget to hold their partner's hand. They're going up separately, and just kind of reinforce, hold your partner's hand a lot. Okay, 1 and 3, you go forward and back. 1 and 3, put your right hand in the middle for a right hand star. Turn it once around, all the way around you go. 2 and 4, go forward and back. 2 and 4, make a right hand star, and turn it once around you go. Everybody face your partner. Do-si-do, that partner's there. Back to your corner. Do-si-do. Back to partner. Promenade right around. You go down. Promenade around. You know. All the way till you get back home. 1 and 3, you go forward and back. 2 and 4, you go forward and back. All the men make a right hand star. Turn it once around. Now back by the left hand star. Forward and back. All the girls make a right-hand star. Turn it once around and go. Now back by the left-hand star. Everybody look at your partner. Do-si-do, that partner. Back to your corner, look her in the eye. Right-hand star. Partner, left-hand star. Back to your corner, right-hand star. Back to your partner, promenade around, promenade right around you go. Hey, promenade around you know now, promenade all the way around till you get back home. Good. Now face your corner. In adult parties, you really can go on to Alaman left. Everybody give a left hand star to your corner. Now put your arm down so you're holding 4 arms, like a handshake, but move your arm up to just below the elbow, and don't squeeze, men. And we're going to walk all the way around this corner. Walk forward around this corner till you see your partner and promenade. Promenade right around. That's an Alaman left, all the way around now till you get back home where you started. 1 and 3. We'll wait for this set right here. Did you think I said that? Oh, I'll get my teeth in right. 1 and 3, you go forward and back. Keep dancing all the time. 2 and 4, you go forward and back. Everybody face your corner. Alaman left your corner all the way around. Do-si-do your partner. Alaman left your corner. Come back and promenade now. right-hand star in the middle, turn it once. Now back to the left-hand star. Everybody face your partner, do-si-do. Face your corner, Alabama left. Back to partner, promenade. Promenade around you go, hey, promenade. When you get back home, remember you're supposed to be home where you started. Good. Now face your partner. We're going to learn one more call. And probably with an adult party, it probably will be easier, but you'd be surprised. With little kids, or if there are a lot of little kids at a party, a family night, or a PTA, or something like that, we usually don't use grand right and left. I really don't use it. Maybe Tom or Betsy have another suggestion, but I really don't use it for when there are children involved too much, unless they're older kids. But real little children, it's very disconcerting for them. So shake right hands with your partner. Good. What you're going to do is walk by this partner, passing shoulders, same hand. Walk by, drop that hand, left to the next. Pull by, right to the next. Pull by, left to the next. Meet your partner, promenade. Go, promenade all the way around till you get back home. Now you guys learn that very fast. You'll find you will have many more teachers if people that really don't know the call at all, but many more teachers. But that's generally how I teach grand right and left. Now from here, after a lot of reinforcement, and we've gone about 20 minutes, I will go into a singing call and use something very familiar, something they can sing along with. And Chuck will put on one that's I've had mostly in my Fun Night box. I have two boxes. The music I'm using is from my Western Style Square Dance box, and that's the name of the handout. But this particular singing call I use at a lot of the fun nights because it's very up and people know it, and, well, it makes you smile. Chuck, put it on. Hold your partner's hand, face the center of the square, circle left. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Circle right. When you're laughing, sing along. When you're laughing, oh, the sun comes shining through. Face your partner, do-si-do. Now corner, Alabama left. Come back to partners. Promenade. Promenade the set when you're smiling. I caught myself when you're smiling. Well, the whole world smiles with you. Yeah, you haven't learned to swing. Heads go forward and back. Make a right-hand star. Turn it once around, you're gonna go. Sides, you go forward and back. Sides, make a right-hand star. Turn it once around, you know. Face your partner, do-si-do. Corner, Alabama left. Come back to partner, promenade, you know. When you're smiling, oh, when you're smiling, hey, the whole world smiles with you. 1 and 3, go forward and back. Make a right-hand star. Turn it once around, you're gonna go. Now 2 and 4, go forward and back. Make a right-hand star. Turn it once around, you're gonna go. Face your partner, do-si-do. Alabama left your corner. Come back to partner. You promenade her home when you're smiling. Oh, when you're smiling. Oh, the whole world smiles with you. Circle left, oh, when you're smiling. When you're smiling. Oh, the whole world smiles with you. All to the middle with a cowboy yell. Face your partner, do-si-do. Corner, Alabama left. Come back to partner, do-si-do. Then promenade, promenade, hey, home you gotta go when you're smiling. Hey, when you're smiling, well, the whole world smiles with you. Okay, Chuck, we won't go through the whole singing call, but you get the basic idea. Make sure your timing is really good. Thank you very much. Now, from here, I usually give them a break. I don't know whether you guys need a break or not, but from here, we've gone about 25 minutes, and some of them are huffing and puffing, even though we've had short little breaks in between. They're still ready to get something to drink. They're ready for refreshments. They're ready, but you got to get them back up again. Now, if you have little children, you really should make them work for you, because then they will get their parents to come back up. If you have all adults, usually they're going out, they're getting something to drink, soda preferably, and then they're maybe getting something to eat. You have to get them back out again, and sometimes it's hard. I use a line dance, and always in my modern Western style square dance box, I have Blue Clear Sky, which works well with electric slide, and a lot of them know electric slide already. So we use Blue Clear Sky with electric slide rather than electric boogie, which I have in my my party box. That will get them out, and if it's little kids, I use popcorn, and then after that's finished, you can say, go get your parents, and they bring them back out again. Or I usually get a lot of women out to line dance, and they love the line dancing, and then I say, go get your husbands, or something, and they bring them out, and then we've got squares again. And we go right to squares. And I just tell them to square up. I tell them how to get couples, hold your hand up, how many couples you need in your square, and all this from the stage. I'm usually back on the stage, unless I'm needed to dance. And sometimes with father-daughter dances, you might need to dance if they don't have enough a grouping for 8. Yes. Oh, sorry, Betsy. We have to have a mic.
You want to repeat? You want to repeat the question?
That's fine.
I do not want to repeat the question. Speak into Gerry's mic because she's using the other mic outlet. So our remote mic is currently unoccupied.
This is good. One of the things I find is that when you get them up the second time, you'll get people up that weren't up the first time.
Yeah.
How do you handle that?
I just review everything. I just do it from not so much the big circle, because we've got to squares, but I start with the circle. And just review everything, and they've been watching. So they kind of know, they're really interested. They really see everybody having a good time. And it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch out there, but it's not really as much fun as doing it, right? And what was your name, sir? Yeah, Keith Ferguson had that comment, Betsy. Any other questions from where you are right now?
1, 2, 1, 2.
Yeah, hello.
Bob McVeigh, San Antonio.
Uh-huh.
You say you use the electric slide.
Mm-hmm.
You use that with popcorn? Okay.
No, I'll qualify that. Popcorn is a separate children's dance that I have in the handout. Okay, that I have in the handout, and it's very close to Alley Cat. Right, Bob? Bob Howell? Very close to Alley Cat, and it's really synthesized music. It's very up music. It's really cool.
Garland Smith from Richmond, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we've done about 20, 25 minutes worth of dancing, and so far there hasn't been anything that you've done that makes it important, whether boys are dancing with girls or girls are dancing. Do you do your whole program that way, or does it depend on the group?
And sometimes all the adults will just get up partnered. Sometimes they just decide that they'd like to have a bona fide square with normal man-woman relationships and lady on the right and everything, and if that's what they'll do. And sometimes, if it's a family party night, we've had just one adult group get up, and then we have another group that's completely mixed, or then I'll have all boys together, about 12 years old, and they just get a little crazy. But then you really have to adjust. And many times you can't even plan your program other than basically what you do well until you get there and you see what you have to work with, and then you have to start pulling stuff out and decide what you're going to do. Yeah.
Out in Opry, Mountain View, California, how do you handle like a father-daughter dance? You have the father and you have 3 daughters.
If they have 3 daughters, I usually dance with one of them. If they have 2 daughters, then like Hot Rod and I were sisters, we would dance as one girl with a father on that side.
Yeah, I'm gonna add, if they had 3 daughters, it would also be possible to have the father dance with one and the other 2 dance together in the same square.
I would prefer the daughter to dance, if it's a little daughter, to dance with an adult.
Yeah.
That's much better. If they're older girls like the juniors, or older, say 4th, 5th, and 6th grade, then possibly they could dance with each other. And usually you have helper senior Girl Scouts who will be there who can dance as the parent. That works. Good.
Any other questions?
Jim Mayo from New Hampshire. Do you go through a whole evening with this sex-irrelevant type of dancing?
If it's a party night,
can you make
sure.
it through the whole evening
Sure, yeah.
and just do stuff that doesn't depend on boy-girl?
Yeah, a lot of singing calls. See, I use Solomon Levi a lot, and I use
Mel Dixon from Massachusetts.
Okay.
In the contract with father-daughter dances, specify that each girl must have an adult partner, whether it's a father, grandfather, uncle, older sister, older brother, if they wish to dance all evening.
Right. We have had grandfathers come. We have had mothers coming as fathers, and they just adapt that role so that I don't have to worry about that. Father-daughter dancers are a lot easier. You have girls and boys, or men and girls, or I say dads and girls. That's what I usually use, dads and girls. And then you have that differentiation. But with a mixed group party night, partners and corners, I really use. And I use a lot of other dances, not just square dancing.
Gerry, Milton, Luttrell, Texas. You have a controlled crowd here tonight, obviously, which is quite different than what you would run into.
Sure.
And what is your answer to the, I hate to use the word, but I will, to the invariable one or two idiots that you get that get down on the floor and wallow, or see how many squares they can mess up, and just generally try to disrupt everything.
I have had a whole square of 8 to 12-year-old boys.
And I really wasn't talking about the young ones.
Oh, not the young ones, you mean?
I mean adults that are just intent on seeing how much havoc they can reap.
I'm trying to think whether I've ever encountered that too much. Chuck, can you add anything? We haven't encountered. They do give you a lot of chatter back and forth to you. You will get a lot of stuff coming at you, like if you make a mistake, of course. Whoa, everybody. But I just ignore it, and if it's real disruptive, like the whole party, I would have something to say. But if it's just one square, I kind of ignore it.
Yeah, I'm gonna interject a little bit. Sometimes you have one square that really doesn't care what you're instructing. They're not deliberately necessarily trying to disrupt the whole room, but they're hopping up and down and they're having a high old time, and they are nowhere near what you're calling. And I have, with great difficulty, learned to focus on another part of the room and watch those people and focus on the rest of the room, and usually they're right in front, and look over them to the next groups.
Paul Hensey has a comment also.
Real quick.
Come close. Here he goes.
Paul Hensey, Chattanooga. I've passed them through. If I've had the four couples, I just have the heads pass through, go to another square, and then you broke up two, so you've only got two left.
Bob asked from Rockton, Illinois. Real quick, when I had a difficult square or something, the square's not really caring what they're doing, and I have 4 or 5 out there, I say, well, let's do this and see which one's standing, and that stuff. So everybody's looking around. Everybody doesn't want to be looked at and say, okay, you're not doing it right or anything like that. So I always put them through a lot of simple movements to say, okay, which one's standing, which one's not. And so everybody's going, okay, did you make this? And they all yell, yeah, and that stuff. And that's one of the things to look at, and you can use that. You can expand on that quite a bit. Thank you.
You always have to be reading the floor continually. That's why I like to work out on the floor rather than up on the stage and be kind of remote. You can go in and out. You can help people in squares. Many have a right-left problem. You can correct that without really saying anything, but just going in and kind of adjusting hands, especially with little kids. Now, I don't want to keep you all on the floor.
I was going to say, Jerry, are you intending to dance them anymore?
No, I'm finished with them, and Tom's turn. I have a handout up on the top table, but please get it at the end, everybody.
Okay. Well, you can use the wireless. Yeah. One other thing, while we're sitting down, let me mention that if there's a square that's having trouble, I usually work from a stage more than from the center of the room. I have my husband Roy around, and if there's a group having trouble, I'll kind of go, Roy, dear, we need you, and I'll point discreetly, and he'll go over and help. And if we find that they don't really want his help, that they don't really want to do what I'm saying, that's when I know that that's the group I have to ignore. If Roy goes over and helps out and it isn't happening, it isn't going to happen. So I was going to say, so much for follow. Hey, Gerry, they don't follow directions either. Get the handout at the end, yes.
Get the hand out and run.
Yeah, they all need to be turned up. I think you're in the two.
If you do not have a handout, you can email me, jerhardy@aol.com, and I'll just send it to you.
Do you have an original? See if the office can copy it.
I do have an original.
We'll also check and see if the office can get any extra copies. If so, we'll have Gerry Reed make an announcement. Thank you.
All right. We watched Gerry doing her one-night party starting by doing the circles and so forth. I approach it a little bit differently. You know, I don't do the contras and I don't do the traditional. I call square dances, and as soon as I get there, I like to get them into a square. But before I start on that, there's a couple things that we need to look at. We talked about, Gerry had made mention about the father and daughter groups, the high school kids, possibility older groups and so forth, or the age. It's really important when you take these dances that you know what you're getting yourself into before you get there. And I'll tell you an example that happened to me 18 years ago, maybe 17 in that ballpark. I was asked to do a one-night stand or a one-night party type thing, and I took the booking, and I get to the dance. I always try to get to the dance at least a half hour, 45 minutes ahead of time, and that just gives me a chance to make sure that there's a table and where the electricity outlets are, and get to know the hall and so forth, and see what I need. And I was at the hall early, and I was the only one there, and of course the person that opened up the hall, and I set my equipment up, and we got talking a little bit about the square dancing. Well, the first couple had come in, and the first couple had a Down syndrome boy with them, which was fine. I mean, that was fine. You know, I didn't think anything of it. But as the people started coming to the dance, every couple that come in had Down syndrome children with them. And this was a whole new ball. And I'm looking at this is just ironic, you know. This is that everybody's bringing their Down syndrome children to the square dance. It turned out to be that the square dance was for the Down syndrome people. And let me tell you something. You're talking about having shell shock, because now, because of not knowing the Down syndrome at that time, of what you had to do and so forth, not knowing if they know their left from their right, is it was a whole new ball game for me. 18 years later, I still have that group of kids and people, and we're dancing 14 squares of Down syndrome kids. And it's not the point. It's not the point of what you teach them. Now, our dance program that we run is from the fall all the way to the spring, because when it comes to the summer, they got their swimming camps, their horseback riding camps. And what has happened with that group is that we get new in the fall. Now, some of these kids are at home with their parents, some are in group homes, and some of them are at the point where they can live by themselves, an assisted living type thing. And what happens is, it only takes me several weeks to get caught up. The kids that has been coming I have some that's been dancing with me 14 years. They don't forget. And let me tell you, it's been the first couple of years was a chore, because you're talking about somebody had made mention, what do you do, I think Melton was, when you have some people that's irate. Trust me, I've been there. I've been kicked. I've been every possible thing that you've seen, from cardiac arrest all the way up through everything with the Down syndrome. So when I go out to a one-night party and I see a couple guys, I just ignore it. And what I do is I go to the people that has booked me for that dance. I'm not there to be a police. I go to the people that has booked me for that dance, express my feelings towards what these people are doing, and let them handle the situation. And that leaves you completely out of the picture on a situation that you don't want to get involved in. But anyway, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about What happens if you're booked in to do a dance, and as the people's coming in, they're in wheelchairs? It's a senior group, and it's a group of wheelchair people as well as some other people. We as callers, or we as entertainers, we need to know how to cover all of our bases. That's why you need to have your guns prepared before you go in. You need to know what kind of group, you need to know the age, because the reason being is, and I'll just give an example. If I'm booked in to do a dance, and just knowing not knowing the group, and all of a sudden I come in and all the kids are 14 years old, and I put music on. That's not kids' music, okay? And the reason I say that it's not kids' music is with me working in the high school, from ninth graders all the way through seniors, if you put on, we have that image anyway, that the fiddles and the bales of hays and everything like that from the barns. And when you go into high school kids and ask them that question, that's usually what you get. That's the image. So you want to change that image. Then by doing a song, like that, for them, would not excite them at all. And what you want to do is basically get their attention. Here's a great record called, and here again, I'm not even talking about getting into the square. What I'm worried about is, even before I get to the dance, to make sure that I got all my ducks in a row. Martin, Mallard, no, point taken. Okay, so anyway. But, and what you want to do is have all of them in a row, make sure your guns are loaded, and when you get to the dance, you're looking like a true professional. And what does that fall under? The showmanship side of your business. Knowing things before you get to the dance. And now the dance is ready to start. We know what kind of groups coming in, whether they're Down syndrome, whether they're seniors, whatever it might be. We're prepared to do our job. Now Gerry's touched on a lot of things. Oh, one other thing. Before I get to the dance, one of the questions that I ask these people, especially if it's a fireman's type convention or whatever it might be, if they want me getting up to audience participation, one of the things I ask them is if there's alcohol involved. That's really necessary that you know that before you go in there. Not only that, as soon as they tell me there's alcohol involved, I tack on a couple more $100. Because I feel if these people can take the money to drink, they can pay for their entertainment. And if they want you, they'll take you. And 9 times out of 10, if they already have in their mind set that they want to have a square dance party and they want to have alcohol, money's not going to be a factor to them. I have never had anybody say, geez, $200 extra. And I tell them right up front, if there's alcohol, you can add $200 on top of that. Because your job is going to be 10 times harder after that first hour when everybody decides to start drinking. And probably the best way to serve that, to help that problem is just start drinking with them, then it wouldn't really matter. All in favor? No, just kidding, just kidding. No, but we can't do that because we have to set that image and so forth, and we can't do that. There used to be a club in Pennsylvania. I've seen Don Yost. Don, you remember the club in Pennsylvania? They danced at a sportsman's club, and throughout the whole dance they drank, and they were really upset the first night I called for that club that I didn't have a drink with them, and. But I kept watching my clock to make sure 10:30 was coming pretty quick, No, but they drank the whole night long. They drank. But I charged extra for it, just for the fact. And after the third tip, it didn't matter how I called. I mean, I could have stood up there and just sang off key, and they wouldn't have cared. But they were having a good time, and I kept going back. Of course, that club is no longer. They're all in rehab. But anyway, so we talk about getting into the square. Now, Gerry has covered a lot of things with the stars in the circles. I counted the calls that she did with all the stars counting as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 calls that she did, that she taught. Now, some of them she kind of elaborated on a little bit more to kind of expand it out. Betsy made a comment that we do party nights, and a lot of the callers teach 20 to 25 calls, sometimes 30 calls in a party night. Why is that? I'll answer that. The reason being is because some callers can't call square dances with only 5 to 6 basics. They don't know how. Now, that sounds like I'm chastising, but I'm really not. That's the truth. And what happens with that is that's why they shun away taking the one-night stands or the party dances. We as callers need to get up to the microphone and call a program, whether it's with 5 calls or if it's with 6 calls or 10 calls, whatever it is. Now, you notice when Gerry was doing her singing call, did anybody notice anything about that singing call? There was never no corner possession. And the reason being is the callers, I talked to so many callers over the year, well, we don't do singing calls and we do dance parties. And I say, why? Well, you can't corner possession. You know, you can't move them from corner to corner with what only you teach. And I said, well, yeah, you can. But you don't have to. Everybody thinks that you always have to swing your corner, get a new partner, and promenade home.
I was standing first.
By the way, you guys don't know how I feel being up here between these two fine ladies up here. I think.
Now, one of the things I do, and I do at beginner parties, if it's all grown-ups, I will do a partner change at some point in the singing call throughout the evening. If they're a sharp group, I think it makes it interesting. But if I'm not doing a partner change, I do the figure, whatever figure it might be. Heads go forward and back and go into the middle and circle left once around. Everybody face your corner and do-si-do your corner, because it gives me the interaction with the corner that I feel necessary in my head to make it feel normal. Don't ask me why. Do-si-do your corner, run back home and swing your partner and promenade your partner. But for me, that gives me a comfort zone that they've played with their corner just like I expect to on any other club dance that I do.
I would say the same thing in regards to you have to be flexible for each party night that you do. If you have all adults and you feel like they would have fun changing partners, then do it. I mean, they probably would just love it. But with a father-daughter dance where you have little girls, they don't want to change. They're very wary of strange men. They'll look at their corner and do-si-do, but then they come back to Dad every time, and that's only appropriate. The older girls, if you're doing a father-daughter dance, which would be a traditional thing for the Girl Scouts to do, they get a little badge and everything. So if you go to your Girl Scout organization in your town and ask about this, it's probably something that they would want to do, because they do get a badge for it. So the older girls, say from 4th grade through high school, if you haven't managed to get a high school, but I've never done high school girls, they will do a progression, a corner progression. You love that? Here you go, Tom.
Let's let Tommy continue.
That's not what I meant.
Let's let Tommy continue with his regular presentation.
That's not what I meant. Anyway, that's not what I meant. Yes, I am. I can feel it. I can feel it. I usually don't turn red very easily. It's really important. I've had the chance in the last 4 years to go into the high schools from 9th to 12th grade, and Gerry has worked with the smaller kids more so than I have. And the one night party dances that you do, you can go in for one group and everything is just running smoothly. And the next year or 2 years later when they call you back, well, that was a pretty easy group. They learned pretty well. May not go as well 2 years down the road. And you might not, you're not able to do what you did 2 years ago. You know, and working with the kids and working with the older kids and working with the seniors, everybody, of course, we all know this, learns differently. I go in to the high school and I do 2 weeks from 8 o'clock in the morning until 2:35 in the afternoon with a half hour off for lunch. I do 4 periods a day. They're 80-minute periods. Now, I have each gym class 4 times. Through that 4th time, I get them all the way. Now, believe it or not, I can show you my papers and my track record where I keep track of everything I've done. I've got them through the Ferris wheel. Kids and high school kids are like sponges. Grant you, you're not teaching them from every formation possible for one call, but you're doing the Ferris wheel and you're doing a couple circulate, you're doing the swing throughs. Kids learn like, I mean, they're like sponges. They saturate. Now, if I had a group of older people, like in their 50s, and take two weeks, 4 times, I understand, like Betsy's age, in 4 times 80 minutes, I couldn't do all of that. You know, so we have to be really careful of how far we can go on a one-night party. I mean, you don't want to get these people to where they're dancing flutter wheels and I don't know what else, you know, other calls. You want to keep it really, really simple. You want to go back to that KISS thing, you know, Yep, you can do a star promenade, and that's one of the things that I do to teach a promenade. I do a star promenade. Have the boys make a left-hand star, take your partner by the hand, boys drop your left-hand promenader home. At this point, I really don't care how they're crossing their hands. You know, my main goal is to get these people into a square and get them dancing as fast as possible without teaching a lot of calls in the first hour. Just let them dance and let them get to feel the music. And I do singing calls from the first tip right up to the end. And so, sure, let me get a quick square. Okay, perfect. Okay, here's what I want to do. I need 4 boys, 4 girls real quick. Come up here and join in front of me if you would, please. Let's go. I'll give you some music here. Let's go. Don't make a square. Just get them in. Just make sure you get them all together. Need one more couple. Don't be bashful. But don't make a square. Don't make a square. Just kind of put 4 boys on one side like we don't know each other. 4 boys. There we go. That's fine. One lady stay on the outside. You're like, that's fine. Just kind of give me. Here's what happens. And this is usually what happens, like if you do like a singles group or something, this is what happens right here. You know, now what do I do to get these people into a square? What's the quickest way? Okay, guys, don't be bashful. Walk over and take your partner, get a girl, put her on the right-hand side, if you would, please. Make sure that there's 2 couples on the long side of the hall and there's 2 couples on the short side. Sir, you need to be over here. Help yourself. Make sure you have a couple back to me. Sir, put your back. Yeah, come over here. There you go. Perfect. Now, these people were playing. I know that, you know. But most of the time, when you go in to do a one-night stand, they're listening because they know that you asked for a square. They're going to be listening to you how to get 2 couples. Now, you notice I used the terminology. I said the long side of the hall and the short side of the hall. Okay? That's basically how we square that. And this is how I get them into a square. And if you notice, it only took seconds to get them in. Even though these people already know how to make a square, and they were playing, they got in pretty quick. And I don't get into the circles and like Gerry has done and so forth. I start right from the get-go. I get into it. We talked about, we all know what Gerry has covered. So boys make a left-hand star. Say we haven't taught a promenade. Someone asked, let's just see that. Boys, turn your star. Take your partner by the hand. She'll walk with you. Take your partner by the hand. Keep turning that star. Boys, drop your left hand. Walk your partner back to where you started from. And you taught a star promenade and you taught a promenade. It's quick. You don't have to, like Gerry has her teaching hints or her little secrets. what she can do to do a promenade. Okay? And that's what's neat. I mean, we could probably go around this crowd and everybody has. Another way I teach a promenade, everybody join hands, circle to the right just to save a little bit of time. Go single file. Boys, step up on the inside of your partner, take her by the hand and promenade her home. Okay? And you notice I didn't worry about the handhelds, because right now my main concern is to get these people dancing as fast as possible. All right? Thanks, dancers.
Yeah, the way Tommy.
You want to keep them?
No, I don't want.
Okay.
I don't need the dancers. But what I was going to say was the way Tommy just did the circle right, single file, go single file, and then the men step up on the inside, or the boys step up on the inside, is the way I make sure that we get the folks into, quote, normal couples. When I get them up, I do start in a big circle like Gerry, but I won't worry at all about who's on the right or who's on the left. I circle left, I circle right, I go forward and back, and then when I want to worry about their partner, I have them go single file, promenade single file, and I give them a little history lesson for the educational portion of the evening. That promenade is a figure that came from French, came over with the colonists, and it means to walk. So you walk around in counterclockwise direction, and then I have the men move into the middle. Then they're automatically, the men are on the left, the ladies are on the right, without having to think about left and right, because as Gerry said, left and right is a big bugaboo. So anytime you can eliminate them worrying about left and right, you eliminate stress.
It's really important, kind of turn the page a little bit. And how many has ever been put in this scenario? You walk into a hall, and the first thing they say to you is, "We got a couple new couples that's in class, and we'd like for them to dance with us tonight." Everybody's been in that position sooner or later. So even though we like to think that we prepare our dances, sometimes it doesn't work, just for the fact that we've come to a hurdle that we need to jump. I've been in this situation already doing a festival that so-and-so caller is supposed to come in and do our students, but he hasn't showed up. Will you do it for you? Will you do it for us? We've been in that. I'm sure that some of us have been there as well. And we as callers, we need to say yes, because we should be able to be capable of walking into that situation without a problem to entertain those dancers. Just a couple of things I want to touch bases on here real quick before we have a sort of a Q&A. Couple of the things that we need to talk about is taking angels with you to demos or to one-nighters. Myself personally, no. And that's just myself personally, and the reason that I say that is because 9 times out of 10, the last thing you want to do is start hounding these people about joining square dancing. First, you got to win them over. And if we take angels with us, the first thing they want them to do is join the club and come into lessons. And myself personally, I think that's a bad thing, just because we haven't won those dancers over yet. And not only that, is when you start teaching the calls, if you notice, if you say we're going to learn a do-si-do, the angels are already teaching it before you even started calling it or even showing how it's done. And that's one of the reasons that I avoid taking angels with me.
And in my situation, where I don't care which side the folks are on, if I have angels there, they'll be helping them to get in the right place.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you do take angels with you, one of the things that I wrote down here is if you take angels with you, talk to the folks that are non-dancers. Spend the time with them. Don't be spending time with your angels. You'll get to see them next week 2 or 3 times. You get to see them. You'll get to see them all year. These non-dancers are the folks that we need to win over. And by doing that is I'm not saying when you're done with your tip, have them go back and have a little refreshment. Go over to the refreshment table with them. Not necessarily talking about what you've just done. If they enjoyed what you did, they're going to tell you. So this is all part of tools of the trade. And this is something that we need, to consider when we do one-night beginner dances.
Another tool of the trade that you might have or you may not have, it all depends on what you like to do. I play fiddle, not that well, but I do use it. Wayne, don't say anything. I do use it at some party nights, especially if there are children there. And I have little Appalachian toys called lumberjacks. Some of you may be familiar with them. They're little puppets that dance on the end of a paddle. And if there's time before the party or time during the party that the kids are kind of getting crazy, then, and they will, in a big space, they will start using it and running around. So I kind of corral them together and entertain them in that way, and they can take turns with the lumberjack, and I play fiddle, and they really enjoy that. But if you have another talent, like playing guitar or even singing for entertainment, anything else that will add it to the party atmosphere, use it. Really use it. Because it doesn't have to be dancing all the time. It can be anything that entertains at that time.
Lumberjacks. When I was a kid, I must have been a lumberjack because I spent a lot of time at the end of a paddle. Anyway, one thing more I want to touch on is keep smiling when you're doing these beginner dancers, guys. You got to keep smiling. Don't get mad because they can't get it. Don't be upset because they don't get the right hand star. Keep smiling. If you're good at what you do and they can't get a right hand star, you should have different ways to approach the problem. Why get mad at these people? You've just turned them away from square dancing. Keep smiling. These are just some of the things that makes us successful at doing one-night parties and being entertainers. And I'm a firm believer that when we say that we're callers and we're teachers, we need to add entertainment, because that is basically what we are doing. These people are calling you to entertain their group. All right?
So, Tommy, just a little bit more on music. You said, you pick your music by your group. Can you give me a couple of examples of titles for singing calls that you would use, say, for a younger group?
Yeah, I got younger group, Boogie Beat. The one we got, Boogie Beat is on ESP. It's good for all age groups, just because of it's upbeat and it's happy music and so forth. One of the songs that I use, it's also ESP. It's called Shebang. It's just called Shebang, and it's kind of fun, for here again. I'm looking at the high school. This is something that I probably wouldn't go in and do for seniors or something like that. This is kind of you can see the kids. Sometimes you see the older people too do that. But I mean, you can see the kids. They kind of get in the groove of things. And this is the kind of music that you want to do. There's so much, the alternative music. One of the things that I do at the high school, I tell the kids if they want to dance to any kind of music that they have instrumental, bring it in. I'll do my best to do it. And you would not believe some of the music that they bring in. And one of the other music that's good is. And I would look at something like this. I wouldn't use this for a high school social. I would use this maybe for for the seniors or for just a regular group. It's happy music. That's what we want. It's nice happy music. That's on Global. That's called Irish Dew. This is brand new, But listen to what it's doing. This is what's nice to have a tool of a tray like this, because it can take you into the hall. It can get the dancers moving without really doing too much of anything. You got these people already tapping their feet. And we talked about being mad. You know, what happens if you have this kind of music and you stand up there, okay, let's get your squares in order, and it's time to get going here. Let's go. Yeah, make sure you have your partner on the right. And make sure you have your couple here. Yeah, that's right. Put them across. Okay, everybody with the girl to your right, bow to her, bow to your other corner. And I've seen this happen. Believe me, guys, I have seen this so many times. You know, let the music work for you. If that's happy music for the dancers, it should be happy music for you. Right? Well, everybody gonna bow to the partner. You're gonna bow to the corner too, but all join hands, circle to the left. Gonna reverse back, circle to the right. Single file. Boys step on the inside. Everybody promenade back home with your partner. Head couples up to the middle and back. Sides go up to the middle and back. Face your partner, do-si-do. Face the corner, Alabama left. Do the right and the left grand. What have you noticed? I'm not doing very much cadence, am I? I'm letting the music do the work for me. And this is all something that you learn, and we want to keep these people happy. You don't want to make them mad, all right? And there's so many good music out there. And one that was called Irish Do and Global. It's brand new. It's just recently. Now here's one here that I just dearly love. But listen to what the music does. Wouldn't you say that's fun music? You get the people moving, don't you? We're gonna bow to the partner and the corner to head there up to the middle and back. Sides go up to the middle and back. All join hands, circle to the left. Do an Alabama left with your left hand, honey to the right, do the right or left grand. Grand right and a left, go around and meet a little lady. Kind of happy music. That's what you want to play. So to know what kind of group you have ahead of time, you need to choose your music and have it ready to go. All right?
Some of the singing...
Oh, I'm sorry, Gerry. That's on Rockin' M. It's called Cajun Swoop. Or Swoop. Or Swamp.
Some of the
Excuse me,
singing
just a minute.
I use are YMCA, Coming Around the Mountain for PTAs and children's sort of thing. YMCA would use for older groups, but the adults love it too. But use familiar tunes. Rocky Top I use a lot. Question and answer now? You want to do?
Okay, we're going to open this to question and answers. Once again, I'm just going to interject one more small thing. I'm the moderator, so I'm not really presenting, but I got to put my 2 cents in. I'm Betsy Gotta again. And Gerry presents a really Western sort of effect. I spent years growing up trying to eliminate the myth of that we always square dance only to country Western music. I am still working on presenting a variety of music. I'm from New Jersey. I'm not from the South. I'm not country Western all the time. I like a variety. So, Gerry's mentioned a couple things that weren't country Western. I like for the younger kids, Zippity Doo-Dah will have everyone singing along. Hakuna Matata now has been out for a while, and people know The Lion King. All of those are really popular. It's a Small World. The grown-ups will hate you because they'll sing it for the next week. But it's a small, and they'll have to take the kids to Disney World too. But everybody will sing along, and I will use some of the big band sounds also to get a variety across. Chuck, you going to take the mic around? Oh.
I'm interested, Tom, in your experience with the high school kids because I did a similar program for several years. And one of the things...
Could you state your name, sir?
I'm Jim Mayo from Hampstead, New Hampshire. But I found that the high school kids, particularly sophomores, freshmen, were very, very sensitive to failure. That if they didn't succeed, they got embarrassed very quickly. And as a consequence, I did a whole lot less in a comparable period of time than you have described. I did a lot more variety with a smaller number of calls because I worked very, very hard to see to it that I caused no failure.
How I address that, Jim, is that the kids that come into the freshmen now, the high school I'm teaching at is freshmen all the way through seniors. They do the co-ed, the phys ed, physical education, and we find that the freshmen, this is a whole new ball game when they come into high school. This is a whole new. It's basically like a hit across the top of the head type thing to reality. And I got to tell you a real neat story. The first year that I taught in the high school, I had a group of freshmen that wanted to square up together. And we got them into the square. And I said, okay, now what we're going to do is take your square and circle to the left. Now, just imagine this. This is just imagine this. The whole square went from point A clear over to point B. Now, if you think about that, when I said circle to the left, there's technically only one couple that can go to the left. The one couple's backing up, the other couple's moving to their right, and the other couple's walking forward. And let me tell you something, I thought I called it wrong. I thought my 28 years of experience went down the tube like real quick. And what's really funny with the freshmen is a couple of things, is that they don't want to take hands. And they don't want to dance with the seniors because they feel intimidated yet. So what happens is after the first time and we get them going and they don't want to dance and they think this is silly and so forth, I walk over to them and I say, you guys play games on your computers? Do you play the Game Boys and so forth? And they all say yes. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to challenge this puzzle. I bet you I can give you a puzzle that you can't solve. And they look, of course, now, here it is, these freshmen, wait a minute, there's not a puzzle in there that I can solve any puzzle you give me. I says, I'm going to challenge you. And I said, you got 2 weeks to prove it. And from that point on, I've always had success where the freshmen now listen better than some of the seniors. Because the seniors already have had all this 4 years. This is their 4th year of having it. And so the seniors kind of get cocky a little bit, and they start playing. Now the freshmen want to do better than the seniors. And it's just funny that now, so we don't go to individual groups now. What we do now is, as I say there with a microphone to the freshmen that are here for the first time, is that the upperclassmen can tell you this, that the puzzle that I'm going to throw out to you is pretty hard, and we need to solve it. And I'm challenging you as your instructor to solve this puzzle for me. And here again, the first 10, 15 minutes is kind of iffy, but after that point, the progression's right up the ladder. And after that time, I walk over and say, we need to intermix with the other people that's been here for 3 years. And it's been very successful on that part. And that's how I approach it.
Gerry, you mentioned there were certain moves.
What's your name?
Keith Ferguson, Saratoga, California. You mentioned there were certain moves that you tend not to use with children, young children, like do-sa-do and right and left grand. Are there some other moves that you would find are particularly successful, maybe other than the things you've already shown us, that you would use instead of those moves?
Well, I would just use the stars, partner star, corner star, but I have to depend a lot upon the adults helping the children, and I always have an adult with a child. You wouldn't have 2 5-year-olds together if you could help it. I will do children's dances where they will have specific dances for children, but it's always after they've had that preliminary basic circle with the adults, and they've done right-hand stars, left-hand stars, they've done promenade and single file. You can do a lot with that. And I do Alabama Gal, which is a singing party game, and that has a sachet in it. But it's just a lot of fun, and they just love it. It just works.
Don Yostin, Erie, Pennsylvania. I find, like Tom, I don't get involved a lot with handedness or how people, when you promenade, how the grips are and all that. I don't get into that. But I do use swing. But I don't use it in the traditional sense. I hook right elbows and swing. And I'll do that with kids, and I'll do that with adults. But I never
I never try to get into a regular swing. I always do an elbow swing, and it seems to work with boys together, girls together, any combination. It's less intimidating and it works better.
Let me address that, Don. One of the ways that, matter of fact, Betsy and I was talking about this before the panel. One of the things how I do the swing, especially with kids, is that I have them cross hands. You know, like so, and then just walk in a circle. And you know, you got to be careful of them kind of whipping the person back and so forth. So getting crazy. So you know, you have to, you know, but that's a good way to do swings, and also the locking of the elbows is one as well.
Well, one of the things about the crossed hands that Tommy mentioned is if you have a father-daughter night and the girls are about yo big, if you cross hands, the height difference doesn't matter because the guys don't have to bend over to hook elbows. They can just lower their hands. So the fathers will not come out of the dance with back trouble. And also, if you cross hands, you are already in a promenade position or for a handhold without shifting hands. One other thing I want to add is eliminating that right and left. When I start this, I say everybody face your partner and shake hands with them. Because 99% of the people in this society will, no matter how old, they will shake hands with the right hand without ever thinking about right and left. And you've eliminated the stress.
Okay, no more questions. Oh, I'm sorry, Mike. I didn't see you back there standing. I apologize.
Mike Callahan from New York. One of the successful calls I use with kids, almost all ages, is split the ring. Couple number one, go down the center, split the ring, separate, come back, elbow swing. Couple number two, down the center, split the ring, separate, come round, elbow swing. Almost any age can do that.
Bill Dixon's from Massachusetts. I haven't heard anybody say this, but with father-daughter dances, I want to work the pants off of those dads. So I have them make the left-hand star in the middle, and they love doing this. And the more things that you can have the fathers do, they want to come back even more so than the girls.
And I also use the fathers to demo a lot for their daughters. I always have the dads starring by the left first or starring by the right first. Then the girls kind of know what to do. The girls can clap and everything while the dads are doing the stars. I usually don't have dads ever circle in the middle. They don't like to do that. But the girls can circle in the middle. The dads love to see the girls doing something in the middle where they can watch. They just love that. So use that a lot.
I have one more thing to add, Gerry, and that is pretty much close to the end of the dance when the square is set up. I say, everybody face your partner. Girls give Dad a big hug and thank you for taking me tonight. And if you're good, he may take you to friendly sometimes next week. And dads, look at that girl. In 5 or 6 years, she's going to be looking for a guy, and you better set a good example.
We got one over here. Two more questions.
Jack McConnell, Hendersonville, North Carolina. I really don't have a question. I just have one thing that I've done several of these things, and it's very important to compliment the dancers. Make sure that you tell them you're doing great out here, and make sure you say with a smile on your face, be enthusiastic, and compliment the dancers. That's all. Thank you.
Good point.
Garland Smith from Richmond, Texas. So you mentioned that that some of the times, depending on the partner pairings, you have situations where you want to keep the partner with like the younger girls. When you do I would normally do something like a jiffy mixer. Do you do those kinds of dances, but just not do the mixer aspect of it? You just have them keep coming back to the. And does that work? I mean.
I'm sorry, I didn't get a chance to answer with the mic. Yeah, just with Jiffy Mixer, I would just add a do-si-do or an extra swing just to make sure it times out right. You have to work with it a little bit at home first. And no, you don't have to change partners with the younger girls, but with an adult group, you would want to maybe change partners with that. It's really a good mixer.
Okay. I want to thank you all for coming to the panel and participating. I want to thank Gerry and Tommy for their presentations and Chuck for his supporting role. If you think this is a valuable subject, please put it on your critique sheet so that we can schedule others in the future, because I personally think that this is one of the most important ways that we can reach the general public. If we give them a good dance experience, just like a little sample taste, and then another sample taste, and then another sample taste, maybe they'll want to come out for the whole meal. But unless you know how to give a good sample, it's not going to happen. So we thank you very much, and we're going to break for lunch.